Everyone has a good story to tell, and you know it is a good story when the person leans in and says, "See, what had happened was," and then tells the story.
This podcast provides those opportunities to tell those types of stories in education. The stories will be from the good, the bad, and everything in between. We wanted to do this podcast to showcase stories in education and to give flowers to educators who deserve recognition for their excellence.
Our guests will feature parents, students, teachers, administrators, and just about anyone who is involved in education. These stories will inspire you, challenge you, and help you to reflect on your practice of education, whether it be from the inside of the classroom or outside.
If you have a good story to tell, we'd love to hear it. Email us at contact@andredowty.org. We'd love to have you or your story on a future episode. See What Had Happened starts now. Welcome to See What Had Happened, where you hear stories from the educational perspective, whether it's the good, the bad, or in between. We are your co-hosts, Danielle and Andre Daughty. If this is your first time joining the podcast, welcome. If you are a returning listener or viewer, welcome back. Today, we have special guests joining in on the fun. We have Catrina and Rasham Coleman.
Now, we go way back here, and so it is such a delight to have the homie and the wife right here, one of the other wives of the crew. So we're going to be excited about this, having a conversation here. But for those who don't know who you all are, Catrina, Rasham, go ahead and share a little bit about us, about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Catrina Coleman, his torturer, professional.
Yes.
We've been together for a while, married about 9 years.
9 years.
I'm from Dallas, obviously, originally. And I work in banking, but I also have a small business that is actually flourishing tremendously. So the role that I play in our house, educator, is parent. So parent and also sister. I have a brother that's college age. So this is his first year.
Yeah, she's actually been a little bit modest. She's a teacher too, because when the kids have all these questions that, to be quite frank, Rasham doesn't have the answer
That's
to.
True.
Go ask Catrina right quick. I'm pretty sure she can help you out with that.
Yeah, that's true.
But for those who don't know, I am Rasham Coleman. Grew up in Oklahoma. Went to Langston University. Graduated from Guthrie High School. And I consider myself an educator too. I can educate on a number of different things. As a parent, I believe that we are all educators.
I feel that because one of the things that we talk about, and a lot of educators say, is the number one teacher in that student's life isn't the teacher at the school.
Yeah.
It's the parent at the house.
Yeah.
And the parent is at the house doing their best, his or her, or they doing the best they can to teach. When that kid comes to our classrooms and comes to our schools, we can just supplement those things that the parents can teach. So we right there with you. Since this episode is about telling stories, I'm sure you all have some stories to tell, and we would love for you to kind of set it up for us. Is this story from a parent point of view? Is this a story from when you all were students? Is this story from your children? Like, set up the story you want to share with us real quick.
So it's about a year ago.
Okay.
And every week, me and the wife were loading money on our son's account. And we're noticing that this dude is like literally blasting through money. You know what I'm saying? We're like, man, what's going on? Because I know that he is not eating all of this money. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't possibly be eating all of this money, or he could be big as a house.
Yeah, 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches. Snacks.
Two and three and 2.
What is going on? So and then he hungry when he get home.
Yes. Then he's starving.
Hold on, he's got a worm in his stomach. Hold on,
what's going on?
And he hadn't quite hit that stage where he's like in that full-fledged growth spurt. So I'm like, man, what is really going on? So I put him to the side. I'm like, what's going on, man? Why am I having to load so much money every single week? You know what I'm saying, on your account? And he was like, come to find out, he's actually paying for other kids' meals. You know what I'm saying, at school. Kids that didn't have meals to eat. So I was like, me being me, I had to turn my back right quick and wipe that thug to
right. Because it's there. It was forming. It was forming right now.
It was there. It was there. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm proud of you.
That's when you look up and you be like, man, them onions. Who's cooking onions up there?
Man, I didn't know you had it in you, boy. Yeah, man, I appreciate, one type situations. But I told him, I said, man, I'm really, really proud of you, for what you're doing. Yeah. And from there, we just helped out more kids. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think I had put up a post on Facebook, and a lot of people had donated, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was in a neighborhood of about 50 meals or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We were able, so it was a blessing. It was a blessing, man.
Yeah.
But I was really, really proud, you know what I'm saying, of him in that moment of just knowing that, he thought beyond himself, you know what I'm saying, to be able to help out, you know what I'm saying, the other kids. And then not only for him to do it, but for him to do it discreetly. He wasn't like out there putting their business in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, if you need some help, I can help you out, and just helping the kids out, man. So it was a real heartwarming moment, you know what I'm saying? And then I had to turn back on my thug,
God.
I'm thinking, like, from a kid's perspective, so this wasn't just the first time thing. He had seen the homies or the friends or strangers not able to get in that line and get the food.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
He's knowing, like, man, they want to eat, but they can't. But then they can't ask people because kids are bullies. And so for him to see that and be like, hey,
low key. Yeah.
Just use it on my card, because I know my card, my lunch card or my breakfast card, like man.
Replenishment. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a blessing. It was a blessing.
He had it to give.
It was a blessing. And then just give you a quick layout, the way that I think they had 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah, there were several.
Several lines that the kids, you know what I'm saying, could choose from. And then one of the lines is this straight up sandwich, you know what I'm saying, like a jailbird sandwich type situation, you know what I'm saying? Wow. So it wasn't, and then it makes it even harder on the kids because, if you get in that line,
right,
people know.
Yeah, and they see you.
You know what I'm saying, that you ain't got it like I do over here in line 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of kids was just opting not to eat, so it was one of those type situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
And to think, like, he's like, I'm about to get in trouble. Like, I just plowed through X amount of dollars in less than 2 or 3 days. I'm about to
we falling up the belt.
Yeah, like
we falling up the belt. We was ready.
Something good, but yet I'm still gonna do it because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm saying, look, I'm like,
very big moment.
I'm like, man, are you up there just eating gourmet every day?
That's what I was thinking.
You just gourmeting it out every single day.
Just like,
and when he finally just told me, man, it was a blessing. Yeah. It was a blessing, to find out that, like, man, this dude is actually out there in his own little small world helping kids.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing.
Yeah.
Salute to your son.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And then to think, like, because now I'm like analyzing the story, because this is so double of a story, that y'all didn't just cut and end it there. Parents could have been like, that's so sweet of you. All right, we're done. Yeah, we're done. Yeah. After today, there's no more. This money is for you and for you only. Like, let's go on social media and see if other people want to donate.
And people did.
Yeah.
And people did.
And to whom much is given, much is required.
Period.
And at the end of the day, when you're blessed with abundance, it's like you don't hoard it and hold on to it for yourself. There are many other people that could use it. You ask for money for the right reasons, not so you can, nothing wrong with going out and treating yourself, but you have a lot of people that are less fortunate. And if you can give somebody $1.50 to make their day, like, you're not gonna blink an eye.
Yeah, come on, man. And I had a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, respond, and the majority of the people, man, they didn't even want, you know what I'm saying, to be known. You know what I'm saying? They was just like, they would hit my inbox, hey man, I want to shoot you this, man, for the kids at the school. You know what I'm saying? And didn't want no recognition or nothing, you know. But you know me, I'm the type where I like to give recognition and praise. So I was still showing them love. You know what I'm saying? On that, hey, look, man, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying, for giving the money. You know, shouting them out, man, because I believe that everybody that's hands on deck, you need to be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So, period.
This is such a juicy story. Like this is a great see what happened, because not only that, like when you give to somebody, especially like for a good cause, man, those feel good. You get the goosebumps. Like you really feel good inside. I remember when Oprah talked about how she did her very first Favorite Things episode, and she gave it to the audience who were needing some of those things. Like that was more rewarding than actually getting gifts. It was the ability to give. So now in my head, I'm thinking all those students at the school who probably didn't even know your son, or those students at the school who knew your son but wasn't really cool with him. And for him on the slide to be like, yeah, this one's on me, this one's on me, that one's on me, this one's on me. Like I got the next 12, but let's keep it on the low. Like that had to have felt good. To him, to the cafeteria staff, because they know which
like,
kids that whole atmosphere felt that positive energy. All because his son was like, I'm about to risk it.
I'm gonna risk it all. I'm gonna risk it all.
I'm gonna be a punishment forever just to help this one person eat.
Look, he know how dad is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? I'm a giver and I'm a saver. You know what I'm saying? So if it makes absolute sense to me, I have no problem. You know what I'm saying, with helping and spending and giving. You know what I'm saying? So when he told me that, man, it was just, I mean, there was no way I could shut that down. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I appreciate you just for letting me know. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a blessing.
So here's a follow-up to that. How long was that program that you all raised with your son? Like, how long was that able to sustain? Because you said 50 meals. 50 meals is a lot of meals.
I don't know.
I mean, I know he continued to do what he was doing with his own individual effort the whole time. Like whenever he saw the need, he met it. But in terms of how far that donation went, I don't know, because a lot of the people were given the information to donate directly to the school, because they also had like a ghost account. And that they would use to just put money. So
that was
never heard of that. That is So teachers out there, administrators out there, open up a ghost account for those students who aren't able to get the free and reduced lunch, but then they also don't have enough money to get the food that they need. I love that.
So it's all unanimous. They can just go and get, it's all anonymous. Nobody knows.
Love it. All right. So looking back at that story, what, if anything, would you do differently, or what advice could you share with other parents about that situation?
I think that one of the things that we probably could have done differently was maybe speak directly to the school about the student. You know, you don't want to open a can of worms, but at the end of the day, as the adult, we're always there to protect and cover the children, irregardless of relationship, you know. So I wish that we would have stepped a little further and done that. I think that one way that we can continue to kind of encourage it is just modeling the same thing, like the advice that we would give to other parents. We stay very involved in what the kids have going on. They're not just here moving around autonomously. Like, we are very involved, like even in their lunch accounts. And there could be something like that could be going on. And instead of just automatically getting mad or saying, what are you doing? But, you know, a lot of times there's a rhyme behind every reason. You just need to talk and figure out why. You know, a lot of times in our culture, talking is not necessarily frowned upon, but not encouraged for adults to children. But it's actually important to do that, to explore their emotions and figure out how they feel, you know?
It was a self-check moment,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, for me, you know, because I initially got upset, you know what I'm saying, well before I even heard, you know,
The reason. Yeah.
behind it, you know. So for me, I think it really helped me to understand that, you know, just because you don't understand something, or if something appears to be a certain
Right.
kind of way, to, you know, reserve that emotion, because what I didn't want to do is discourage them or him from the next, you know, next time something else pops up, you know, he remembers that energy that daddy gave him, you know what I'm saying? And now he don't really want to even bring it up anymore, you know what I'm saying? So just, you know, it was a moment where I just realized, especially after he had told me what he was doing with the money, is I was like, man, that was just so unnecessary for me to
blow up like that.
You know, just
didn't even understand it.
You know what I'm saying? Type moment. So it for me, you know, and another thing too, and my wife will vouch to this, I am an apologer, you know what I'm saying? An apologist. I will apologize for my actions, you know what I'm saying? If I cross the line, I don't care if it's my kids, whoever, you know what I'm saying? I will man, look, I'm sorry for the way that I spoke to you, the way that I raised my voice, you know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. And I think, man, that's something that I would love to see more people, more parents do, you know what I'm saying? Apologize, because you don't want to shut your own kid down, you know, and then you're wondering why, you know, your kid's not opening up to you because you're a volcano, you know what I'm saying? So it was, you want to give your kids a safe space, you know what I'm saying? And for me, when I realized that I was jeopardizing his safe space, I had to correct it, you know what I'm saying? So it was a real reflective moment for me.
Some of the best educators in the world are people you've never heard of. They may not be on TV or get the National Teacher of the Year awards, but we want to give those teachers their flowers today. We know the sacrifice and the heavy lifting these educators go through daily. With that said, we present Sprout Outs. Sprout Outs is sponsored by Pinky and Paws Petals. Owner and founder Jamaica Lewis has always loved flowers as a kid, and after her mom passed, she wanted to design the same flower arrangements she saw at her mom's funeral. She went to design school and learned how to craft and design floral arrangements. From there, the design started at home, and after great feedback, her business has flourished worldwide. Weddings, funerals, special occasions, and more. Pinky and Paws Petals ships artificial designs and delivers local ones in the Denver, Colorado area for now until after COVID. Now it's time for Sprout Out.
Who's an educator you all would like to sprout out today?
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I had so many. I went to a lot of schools as a kid. I went to like 6 different elementaries, went to 1 middle school, 1 high school. But I can say that there were a couple really impactful educators. My first would have been in 3rd grade. And right around that time, one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I come from a household where domestic violence was prominent. And a lot of times it's very easy to overlook childhood domestic violence or domestic violence against children, where the children witness it. No one knew that I was going through that because, you know, it's a silent thing. But I think my teacher kind of got a feeling that something was going on. And she would always go out of her way to like give me little extra things to do and just to let me know that she saw me and she saw my efforts. Because it's times where as a child going through something like that, you could easily sink into yourself. Her name was Paula Booker. She went to Joseph J. Rhodes High School. Elementary in Dallas. Sunnyside, South Dallas is what we call it. Sunnyside, Dallas. But she was one of the most innovative teachers to me, and she was just very impactful. I actually had her my senior year to come to a senior dinner that we had to pay homage to her there too. But I believe now she's like a dean of a school or something, but she just I even remember the little project we did with her planting a bean, and it was such a monumental thing. It was so small to her. And she said when she got the notice to come and meet me, she forgot all about it. And when she read it, she knew exactly who I was because I was so excited about it. So her, and I had one more instructor when I was 17. I our school that I went to, Woodrow Wilson High School here in Dallas, it's a very unique school because it's a blend of children. They may not necessarily be economically developed, or they're challenged, and you have kids that are in abundance and they're all mixed in with each other. It's just like a smorgasbord of kids. And so you could be sitting next to someone that it might be close to homeless and next to another person who lives in Highland Park. It was that easy. And we had a teacher, and I was in AP English, and we had a teacher, and I used to get so mad at him because he'd point us out. Yeah, you need to do this, and he'd be working us so hard. And I feel like, why is he working us so hard? He's not making them work like that. And so one day, I decided I'm gonna step up, stand up for us. You're speaking, you telling us to do all this. You don't tell them to do all these rich kids. You don't make them do that. And his name was Luis Benavides, and he pulled me to the side and he told me, just the real thing about this world, and just that being who I was, that you're very talented, but that the world is not always going to see that. And the reason why he made us work harder is because that was how the world was going to be. When we got out, they were going to be harder on us. Yes, you were going to have those kids. Their parents are going to pay for them to go to college. You have to have a scholarship. Yeah. He's like, so yes, I work hard. I'm hard on you because I love you. I want you to succeed. And I had never heard that, and hearing that really always resonated and stuck with me. I was like such a bookworm and such a student. So to hear something like that, like whenever my teachers or instructors would say anything, it always stuck with me. So that was one thing. I got one more person and I'll
go ahead. Come on. No, come on.
I got a lot of people that played a part of my life though, but my high school volleyball coach, he was a father figure for me. And had it not been for him, there would have been many, I probably would not have played or been able to play. I was a star volleyball player from freshman year all the way up throughout. And he would pick me up. He would pick me up for practice. He would take me home, and he wouldn't let anything happen to me. He'd check me when I need to be checked, help me experience and understand the potential that I had inside of me. So that was Jim Harris. That's his name, Coach Jim Harris. And he's still a great volleyball coach. He's also at Woodrow Wilson.
So give us the three one more time, because we want to sprout them out. Third grade teacher.
Paula Booker. Luis Benavides was my English teacher in my 11th grade year, and my volleyball coach was Jim Harris. Yeah, all very, very insightful people.
Thug tears, thug tears, right there again. Thug tears. Volleyball coach, right there for you. We like to help people win. When one wins, we all win. And so, Catrina, Rasham, this entire episode, we kind of noticed that you had something in the middle of it. Go ahead and talk to us about it real quick.
Well, so what you see here is a product that I've cultivated for almost a year, actually. I have a home fragrance line. Eventually, we will offer other home goods. But as of right now, this is a luxury coconut wax candle. We also have other things. I brought it to the side, of course. We have reed diffusers. We even have smaller little candles in luxury containers. So we have a lot of things that we offer here. My website is www.plumzoe.com. Our candles don't contain any toxins, nothing harmful. So you don't have to worry about if you have allergies or asthma triggers. If you have cancer, you don't have to worry about having any of those toxins in these candles. And it also has a wood wick in all of our candles. So it gives a nice crackle. So definitely worth a purchase. Just because of the fact that I know it's a high quality product. We put a lot of love into it. It's not about the money for us. It's about you getting a good experience. And right now at this pandemic, everybody's stressed out. It's like you can't go anywhere. What better way to reinvent your home than introduce a new scent, so.
Go to the website. Give us the website again real quick.
The website's www.plumzoe.com. Plum is Plum, Zoe, Zoe.com.
Zoe. A lot of people say Plum Zoe.
But it's Plum Zoe. It almost made me think about adding a Y, but I didn't.
So educators, go to plumzoe.com. Take a look. Check it out. See the scents that they have. Use some at your home, and then take some to the school, because school's going to eventually open back up. Yeah. And then you can have these fresh scents all throughout your office and your spaces in your areas.
Yep.
After recess, you don't want to smell that outside smell. You want to smell cocoa wood. That's what
we know about that outside smell. Middle school, I know.
That outside
smell. You need something.
This will diffuse that outside smell.
It'll knock it right on out immediately.
Well, believe it or not, that's the end of the story and the end of our episode. If you don't mind, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We really, really appreciate hanging out with you today. Catrina and Rasham, thank you for sharing that story. That story was powerful. I loved everything about it.
Yes.
And so with that being said, that's the end of our story. Don't forget to join us on the next episode of See What Happened.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. You can find out more at teachbetter.com/podcast.